Previously, even though technicians could be added as assistants in eAutomate, Remote Tech did not provide a way for the assisting technician to see the call in Remote Tech. This release changes all of that. There are now two ways to add an assistant. You can add an assistant in eAutomate, as you've always done, or if the manager is using Remote Service Manager or RSM, the assistant can be added there. Daniel, who's Jimmy's supervisor, logs into RSM from his tablet or smartphone, or even from his laptop or desktop if he's in the office. He usually finds the call by a couple of different ways. Daniel can start typing JI, and it'll find Jimmy, and he can drill down into the call. Or he can type 1390 and drill down into the call. Or perhaps even put in the equipment number. Either way, it finds the call. So here's the Ridge Nursery call where we want to add the assistant. He scrolls about midway down where he sees Jimmy as the primary technician. And over on the right, there's a plus button for adding assistants. In this case, he picks a technician who is available. We've got a couple here that are not, so he chooses the lane and then clicks the add button, which adds her as the assistant. Now that Daniel has made Elaine an assistant on this call, Elaine logs in with her smartphone and sees she is assisting on call number 1390 for Ridge Nursery. She opens the call and dispatches to the call. Note that she can also undispatch, as we've discussed earlier in another video, as long as she hasn't arrived. So she arrives at the call. Looking over her shoulder, we notice that we cannot do all the functions, or she cannot do all the functions as a primary tech can. At the top, we notice that she can only add items and work with notes. She cannot close a call, add meters, or update miscellaneous, which includes adding remarks for the call, which go on the customer's invoice. As well, she cannot change a call description, edit location remarks, open up the equipment record, and edit the IP MAC addresses. We leave all that in the hands of the primary tech. She can choose items, and when she chooses items, she sees that Jimmy, who's there working with her, has added a drum from his car stock. She can click on that, but it gives an error message telling her that she does not have permission to edit materials from Jimmy's warehouse. She can add any items out of her car stock, but of course cannot add any of Jimmy's or vice versa. So let's add an item from her car stock. So she can add the item, multiple items. And when she's finished with her part of the task, she simply goes back to summary and does the part. And now she's finished with the call. Now let's log in as Jimmy. And he can see the items that Elaine has added. Again, it tells him that Elaine added it, but he can't get access to her bin. From here, he would simply close out the call as he normally would. Add a problem and repair. depart from the call, and then complete it. So now it's gone off of his call list. So if we log out and log back in as Elaine, she doesn't see the call either. So that's an overview of how assistants are added to this release.